Well, they're just saying, IURC will still be involved, Indian Utility Regulatory Commission. They still have to go to them before they shut down any coal-fired, generation. As far as I know, that's, then there's supposed to be a task force put in place. This task force is gonna help decide. Now, this goes out of effect in 2021, so, it just gives them time to figure out how coal is going to be phased out, and how those companies, and the other thing, especially if you're in southern Indiana, it's a huge economic factor, especially southern Indiana. The number of coal people working at coal miners and so forth, that would be a huge hit on a lot of those communities if it's forced. And, you know, I'll turn that around and say, I don't think the state or government either way should be forcing the coal out either. You didn't call it enforcing them out, which was somewhat what was happening before. So I just think this gives an opportunity to be phased out and take time to figure out how best to do that without putting a burden on communities, whether it's electric costs or jobs or whatever. I don't think it's going to have, I understand it's not going to have the drastic effects on the environment or cost of electricity that some folks seem to think.
This were Don and I differ. I voted against it. I actually worked really hard to try and kill the bill, and I almost succeeded. It only got 52 votes out of the House, which I think sent a good message to the Senate that there was problems with the bill. And it wasn't a partisan issue. This was Republicans voted for it, Republicans voted against it, Democrats voted for it. So it was not a partisan issue at all. I think it's a bad bill. But with that being said, at the end of the day, because of the expiration of it in 2021, I don't think the bill really does a lot. It's more about perception than it is about what it actually does, because this just requires the utilities to go get permission from IURC before they close the coal plant. Well, it takes years to close a plant like that. So none of these plants are shut down overnight. So I don't think the bill really did anything. And that's one of the reasons I voted against it. One of the bill authors told me, this bill really doesn't do anything. And why are we doing it? It's perception that we're doing something negative against renewables. And I'm a huge supporter of coal. I think coal has been great for Indiana, but times are changing, and renewables are becoming less expensive. But I know the bill's still in conference committee. The Senate changed it drastically. They got watered down a lot in the Senate. The House author wants to take it back to the way it was in the House. I don't think it's going to happen. Like I said, he barely got it done the first time. So I think if the bill passes, it'll be a watered down version of what the House passed.
Question, what do you see in the future for the reduction or elimination of all these subsidies? When will the subsidies stop or be reduced? I mean, I don't hear anything about that.
Subsidies for renewables?
Yeah.
Well, those are federal. The ones that, I know the ones for some of the, like ethanol and stuff like that have been reduced. There was a time when ethanol had a pretty significant, the folks that were blending ethanol to fuel-wise, some of that subsidy went away. I don't know what will happen there. I know I've got a lot of windmills in my county, in my home county, White County, and then if you go, actually if you go from Brookston to Illinois, you're pretty much in a windmill farm all the way across to Illinois. But that, I know my perception was when those, and they're still building. I mean, a lot of counties have they've had moratoriums on building windmills. But I know most of those are built with a federal tax benefit of roughly half the cost of the windmills. I don't think they've been built without that, and whether you like it or completely like them or not. I can take them or leave them, quite frankly, but, what concerns me is having all these subsidies. I think I'm supportive of all those, but I think they should rest on their own merit, marketplace, and let's get them where they're cost effective and affordable. And we're starting to see that, especially with solar. And some of the solar, we put up some solar panels on our farm actually 5 or 6 years ago, and we don't have near enough. We don't sell it back to the grid or anything, we just use it for our own use. And it's helped lower our costs, but they cost quite a bit too. So I think at the time, it was like about an 8-year payback on, and that's with a 25% subsidy on the solar panels at that time. I think it was 25, my brother took care of it. So even at that subsidy, it was still gonna take 7 to 9 years, I think, payback to the consumer on what we could generate. And they're great when the sun shines. And the windmills are great when the wind blows. And that's, I'm supportive, those are fine. But they can't be everything. They can't be the sole, I don't think, can be the sole source of power. But I can't really answer your question, but those subsidies are federal dollars, federal subsidies.
You know, what I see is the state legislators are talking about cutting down or reducing the coal, right? And yet the subsidies are gonna go on and on and on. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that the cost to consumers is obviously gonna increase unless somebody gets rid of these subsidies, and like I said, I don't see that happening. And they keep shipping in all these windmills, so I know you got a lot of windmills around you, but, you know, they keep coming in the country.
Yeah, and some of the discussion that I keep hearing is one of the biggest, now, when Indiana Economic Development folks are trying to attract companies to come to Indiana, healthcare is one of the biggest stumbling blocks, and cost of electricity, cost of energy are the 2 biggest now, whereas not very many years ago, Indiana was one of the lowest on electrical costs. And now we're getting to be one of the highest. And I don't know where we rank in 50 states, but that's more and more one of the stumbling blocks of attracting companies to Indiana is the power, electric power. And healthcare, we've got a high, relative to other states, high cost of healthcare. So that's why you see those issues high priorities for the legislature. Part is how to, Heath and I come to some agreement on how we should handle it. And most of the time, Heath and I agree. But that's hard to do with 150 legislators and administration and departments that might have different opinions on it. But you're right, and I don't know all the answers, but what I can get is information hopefully from both sides of the equation, and try to listen to you folks and say, well, you know, we like this, we don't like that, and put in state policies that will help those folks that are trying to bring companies to Indiana. And by the way, we're looking for a buyer for Indiana Beach, if you know what I mean. Just passing that along.
My answer your question, I think probably now every form of energy is highly subsidized. Coal, gasoline, natural gas, wind, solar, they're all highly subsidized, and they'll probably always go on. But yeah, I think he's right, most of that is federal subsidies.
I think it's had an effect too on Indiana ports and barge activities, the reduction of coal, that whole industry, as you guys probably know, is considerably down because, you know, they closed a number of these coal people that export coal.
I got a question.
The reason why is natural gas, the price of natural gas is plummeted because of fracking. So natural gas is super cheap right now. concept of concern is, as they close more and more coal plants, if a different administration comes in at the federal level, I fear that they're gonna ban fracking, and natural gas prices will skyrocket. All these utilities are building natural gas fired energy power, so, it is a concern, because when fracking is banned, prices are gonna skyrocket.
We'll let Toby ask his question.
Yeah, a couple of questions, gentlemen. First of all, have you heard or seen any kind of verbiage as it relates to the cell phone usage? Whether or not that's gonna be considered a primary enforcement or secondary enforcement, and that's more, I guess, a law enforcement question, but it's something that needs to be established in the law to allow law enforcement that opportunity to know, you know, where it's similar to the seatbelt law. When it was enacted, it became a primary enforcement law, so I didn't know.
We had that discussion, and not in, on the floor, we had some discussions in the caucus. It's my understanding it's gonna be a primary enforcement, and quite frankly, I think it should be. I don't know if you, what do you think?
I'm open-minded enough that, I also worry about the individual that's eating a sandwich or reading a book as well.
Well, that's been a big part of the
Right.
discussion, even back with the
Yeah.
testing issue.
So, but obviously we've responded, like many counties, to enough accidents to know that even though we could not investigate further, you put, when it's obvious that that driver was using a cell phone for some purpose which created that accident. And I'm not saying every accident is caused by use of cell phones, but a good majority of them are.
So it's my understanding that you could, if there was an accident involved, then you could check your cell phone.
But it still requires, and it still would in this instance, a search warrant and those types of things, so, but this obviously allows us a little more opportunity to, if we see it right there in front of us, we'll be able to take some type of enforcement action.
But I don't think anything changes if there's an accident. You still can't just grab their cell phone and look, you still have to go get a warrant.
Right, yes, right, I agree.
In that aspect, I don't think anything changes.
Yeah.
Texting while driving was already illegal.
Yeah,
Now it's still gonna be illegal, it's just,
yeah.
you'll be able to pull people over if you see them holding their phone.
Right, I mean, this week even I observed that an individual had a cell phone right there planted in his steering wheel, and it was obvious as to what he was doing, but.
Well, my concern is now he doesn't wanna get caught, so he's gonna lower that cell phone,
Right.
which is gonna take his eyes even farther away from the road.
Right.
I didn't really comment earlier, I voted against the bill, I think I don't like it, it's taking people's freedom away, I don't think texting while driving is safe. But there are things you can do on your cell phone that aren't dangerous, aren't any more dangerous than anything else, like the sandwich or putting on makeup.
Right.
And there's people that read books while they're driving.
Right.
It's-
Yep.
I think you're targeting one particular potential cause of accident while ignoring dozens of others, so
Right.
I didn't support the bill. I didn't support the bill in 2011.
Yeah.
Part of that was how unenforceable it was. We passed the bill in 2011, you guys could not enforce it. It was a terrible policy.
Right.
At least now we're making it enforceable.
Right, yeah. Then the other question I had, I didn't know if you had a comment or, this relates to, some notes I'd received from the Sheriff's Association this week on House Bill 1047 and the Justice Reinvestment Advisory Council. I don't know if that's an effort to a certain degree, circle back around and revisit 1006 from 6 years ago, or, I didn't know if you were familiar enough with that, if that's like a summer study that they're looking at, or?
Do you have a
It,
specific issue with it?
no, I'm just curious as to what the status. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. Looks like it passed the House and then stopped.
No,
I thought, and this the last vote. Oh, it passed the House, but I don't,
Pass the Senate.
oh, there we go.
Return to the House with no amendments.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's already been signed.
That's already,
Okay.
that was after conference committee, I didn't realize that was over there.
Okay.
So it's probably done.
It's, the way I interpret it is just an additional effort to continue to look at jail overcrowding and what maybe answers we can find.
It's putting a study in there,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that, I don't know, there's been 2 or 3 bills trying to deal with the overcrowding issue.
Yeah.
And, my solution is quit committing crimes.
Easier said than done some days.
I don't know. Yeah, and, but there's gotta be, I don't think, there was a lot of talk a couple of years ago, maybe last year, on, I don't know how, community jails or,
Oh, regional?
regional jails.
Yeah.
And I don't think, know that got much popularity.
No.
And, it was, cause it hadn't been that many years ago that I had county sheriffs trying to, get more, provide more, housing for other counties. You know, and I don't know if you guys might have been doing that for a while, housing, jail residents, from other counties, and I don't know if you made much money out of it, but at least you had a revenue there.
We're actually on the other end of that spectrum.
Yeah, I know.
We're housing in Ward and White counties now, so.
Yeah, I knew that.
So as a resident of White County, you're receiving some Carroll County funds for that. So.
Thank you. Thanks for sending all your feelings over there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, I can joke about it, but it's a serious issue.
It is.
And, I think some of that can be blamed on, the legislature too, when the, decision was made to help out Department of Corrections on their housing issues and funding issues, and requiring counties to house more of their, local folks.
Yeah.
So that's been a discussion too, on how best to maybe help out that way. It's ongoing, and has gotten worse. I don't know if it's much light at the end of the tunnel in your situation, but, this, I'm sure this legislation's, Representative Steerwall's, pretty sharp on these, he's an attorney, and he's pretty knowledgeable on these kind of issues, so, hopefully this will be helpful.
And I wasn't looking for any particular answer, just, I guess, a comment.
We let you,
Yeah.
Oh,
we responded accordingly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Josh has a
I just
question?
wanted to comment quickly on the energy discussion. I think public policy wise, we're gonna have to take a long look at some of these fee structures for 3 things specific: electric cars, renewable, or solar panels and wind farms. The current technology on, solar panels, those things 100% have to go to landfill. So they're talking about the number of square miles of solar panels that are in Indiana right now, and, you know, they're going forward, it's gonna do nothing but increase. All of that's gonna go to a landfill. And so how do we look at that? Also, you know, the same thing with the wind turbine fins, you know, they've been around long enough now, they're going out of service, and those all have to go to the landfill. So, I mean, we're gonna have these, you know, it's quote unquote clean energy, but, you know, we're gonna be putting a lot more stuff into landfills, and they're gonna run out of space in landfills, eventually. And then car batteries, you know, with electric cars, they're saying it's like 600 metric tons of car batteries that are gonna be going out of service. So,
Like the Teslas and those
Yeah.
cars.
right.
And it's not only that, it's a lot of the products that are used to build those batteries and those, renewable, the solar panels are very costly and environmentally unfriendly to manufacture those.
Right.
With all the products that they use for that, and the waste that's generated and so forth. So there's some things I read that really make you wonder why, which is benefiting the environment the most. You know, the negative environmental impact of production as opposed to the environmental savings on how it's generated. So it's an important discussion.
I agree. I think, I guess my broader point is like an impact fee might need to be something that's considered in the future from a policy perspective, because, I mean,
Well, so I doubt Indiana as a state could do much, because most of the, you know, I'm not blaming the federal, but, you know, we are bound sometimes on how much a state can do. You know, that goes clear back to some of the stuff we talked about for years about, requiring drug testing for certain benefits and so forth, and finding out, well, you can't do that because it's a federal deal.
Some of the locals are gonna have to do some of that on their own, I mean, because those locals are getting tax dollars from those energy sources, from the windmills and the solar farms. You may have to start thinking about setting some of that aside for landfill costs in the future.
well, that's an interesting discussion, because, I mean, like, it's gonna bring about a broader discussion, because, you know, if we put in $1 billion solar farm, we don't get another nickel of tax dollars unless it's if. So, you know, we now have, you know, it may decrease our, you know, tax rate, but we don't have any additional revenue, so, you know, have that discussion around how we would balance that, or, you know.
Doesn't it raise the assessed value?
It does raise the assessed value, but our levies are capped, so, you know, if you have $1 billion of assessed value, it goes to 2 billion, your tax rate just goes from $2 to $1. You're bringing in the same big pie number, so, you know, be a broader discussion for how we could work together on that as these projects continue to
And it
evolve.
also affects which cap it falls under. Well, for example, if it's farmland,
It's 2%.
yeah, and.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what, if it changes the category of what it falls. Question about mine job.
Yes, I was just reading the other day that the natural resources it takes to build one of those windmills, and that it would take over 100 years to get back the cost of the windmill. So how many of those are gonna last that long? To me, it's a waste of our money.
There's a good argument for that, and it's, at this point, at the federal government level especially, when, you know, there's a lot of discussion on the environmental impact of all that stuff, and as you know, if you watch it all, you can see where the federal government has leaned towards, and I'm, you know, I've farmed all my life, I understand the environment and what impact that has and what we can do about it. But, I wish they'd worry more about the paper towels and plastic cups and, McDonald's lunch bags out there along my road. But, you know, the environment's important, and, you know, we're somewhat controlled and limited because of what some federal stuff does. And again, I'm not saying it's the federal's fault, we can't do anything about it, but yeah, we do have to operate within the framework of what the federal guidelines are. And being, well, we're both on the House Environmental Committee, and this, every year there are issues there about, more local stuff that we can deal with. But when it comes to the federal subsidies and, you know, federal limits on, just what you say, production of these products, we'd like to weigh in on it, because there's no whole lot the state can do about it when the federal government's telling us one way.
Any more questions? Of course, we'll do one more, we'll let Carl ask.
Well, I know the school financing is off the table this year. I'm wondering, long-term, is there any hope of changing the dependence on, well, the way that school financing is now? I teach at Twin Lakes. We were looking at 2 years from now, we're gonna have to pass a referendum, that's gonna be impossible now that Indiana Beach is closed. We're screwed. Is there any,
Why is that? Not arguing, I'm just curious, why does Indiana Beach affect?
because the hit on the local economy and, all the residents with their second homes or their vacation homes around the lakes, they're not gonna support a referendum for their school. We don't, I mean, my understanding is it really puts us in jeopardy.
I don't think the second homeowner would have a vote in that, they don't live there, unless that's their primary residence. I don't think they would be able to vote in that referendum.
That would be.
Okay, that's.
It would only be for people who live in the county.
But as the economy, as the local economy looks uncertain, they're gonna be afraid to vote for any kind of increase in the tax.
I think from the state level, we're gonna continue to increase education funding. We've done it every year.
Yeah,
since
you have to, I mean, I know it's a Republican, talking point that 50% of the budget goes to schools and every year it's a record high. Well, that's just the economy. I mean, we are growing as a state, we're growing as an economy. It's got 50% is always going to increase. So that's kind of a meaningless talking point when it doesn't do the job of financing our schools adequately.
Well, I will say though, I would support it, don't get me wrong, but not all agencies get that benefit. In the 10 budgets that I will, after next year, that I've voted on, every one, and I've said this before, and you probably heard it, but every one increased K-12 funding. Every one did not increase funding for DOC and all the other agencies.
State police, and
Yeah,
every other agency.
There's a lot of agencies that did not get increases in all those budgets, every budget. Now, I know a lot, and there was the issue of 2008 when the economy went in the dumpster and 300 million came out of the budget. It was budgeted, but could not be, just like previous governors had not released funding to education. Yeah, the funding was there in the budget, but it was not released, as I'm sure you know. So it had the same effect, that it had to be reductions. But that's just an economic decision when, if the money's not there, it's hard to spend it. But,
Okay.
but I will say, it been a priority, and there'll always be that discussion.
There's a lot of, well, can we at least hope for a moratorium on the funds getting cycled off to vouchers and charter and private schools? So, because some of what you can always say is all this money going to education, but an increasing percentage of it is going outside of the public schools. And the public schools are getting hurt. And I think that the evidence with the misspending of the virtual charter schools and the lack of oversight of those, they're not performing better than the public schools on average. That there needs to be a moratorium on the expansion of that.
Well, that expansion is not because the legislature says we need more charter schools, we need more vouchers. That's coming from families and parents that want options. That doesn't necessarily mean traditional public schools are bad. It's just saying that, if I send my kids to Frontier and I want to send my kids to a Catholic school, should I not have that ability? Now, I know you're going to say, yeah, I think you can do that now. Yeah, I can. I'm fortunate I could afford to send my kids to one. But there are a lot of families that can't afford to do that. And a little bit, I will say just a little bit of help that they get from, in this case, a voucher, gives them the opportunity to send the kids, not necessarily because academically it's a better school or Frontier, my hometown school, is bad. It's because I want my kids to have that separate, I'm not saying my kids, I'm saying a family wants to have that option to be able to send their kids somewhere that they agree with, whether it's religion or.
But it doesn't have voter input to the school board that has oversight on it. So we don't know what's being taught there or what the curriculum is. Why should why should all of us subsidize what we have no vote on?
Well, that person's subsidizing
It's
it
their
too.
money too.
Fine, that's what public schools are for, understand? That's what public schools are for all of us to have the background as a participatory democracy.
Including that family.
Yeah.
That want, well, and, you know, we'll discuss
Okay,
vouchers and.
So it sounds like I can hear you say that, don't plan on any moratorium on expansion of vouchers.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of support for that anywhere. But you know where, we've had this discussion too, probably, the huge majority of transfers are from public to public schools. It's not from public, I mean, I've got the numbers right here, and I can show you the school.
Sure.
That say how many kids are leaving Frontier to go to Twin Lakes, or
Right.
North White, or,
There's not a whole lot of other options in White Terre County or Carroll County. I mean, we don't have the private schools yet, but if you keep expanding the vouchers, we'll have them.
well, first of all, the vouchers, they only get a portion of the state funding.
And that portion keeps going up. We were sold a bill of goods that it would be less than the public, and it keeps going up year after year. We've been lied to.
Well, it's still less than what traditional public school students get, dollar-wise.
It's considerably less.
Yeah, and that money that's designated for that child that goes to a private school, like a girls' school, the state funding that follows that child stays in the K-12 state coffer, state budget. So the state, tradition.
It counts as your education budget.
Pardon?
It counts as part of your education funding, yeah.
Right, and it's still in the public school fund, so to speak. So, that's ongoing controversy over that. I just weigh in on the side that just because I live in Brookston, do my kids have to go to Frontier School Corporation? They always have. All my kids went to the Frontier Public Schools. I graduated from Frontier Public Schools. So I'm not anti-public schools. I just think it's important for parents to have an option, and a lot of times those options are not because I think this school is better than that school. It's because my kids are, what I hear a lot of is parents, because of the bullying in the school that their kids are currently in. They want to get them away from that environment and put them in another school. I think they should have that ability to be able to put their child wherever they want. When the state took over 100% of the general school fund, is when we started seeing that transfer from public school to public school, because now the schools don't have to generate a tuition to go from Frontier to Twin Lakes. They get the same funding. So, yeah, schools want to attract kids to their school because it means another student membership count, and they get more dollars, and totally supportive of that. But I don't think it's helpful when we're seeing students or families have concerns. I'm not saying they're all doing it for the right reason. I mean, for years, there was used to be if a kid went to another school for sports, it was.
Still is the same thing.
Yeah, so, but this, if they're going there, it's a better school for their kids, their kids, and they want for their family, I think they should have that option. And they contribute to the schools just like everybody else. And these other schools don't have the benefit of the property tax funding that goes into structure, infrastructure and so forth. So it's an ongoing issue. I have that, I don't want to say argument, but a concern that we're not supportive of traditional public schools, and we are. It's just that other people have different options, different opinions, what they wanna do with their students.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time. Appreciate it.